Hey crypto friends, in today's video, we're going to be looking at charts, specifically Wabi, how you guys can determine whether there is a reversal in a certain coin. So let's begin. Like I mentioned before, you first have to look at its trend line. From a long-term perspective, right now we're looking at the hourly. You can see that Wabi is technically still bearish for the most part, but we're going to pop up a few indicators that can help us determine that there is a reversal in Wabi or other coins for that matter. I like to utilize the horizontal axis to look at support lines. If you guys don't know what support lines are, essentially support lines are the amount of buy orders that come in, that kick in to set a certain, essentially a line. So let me give you an example here. Technically, this would be a support line right here because there's a lot of resistance, but suddenly the support lines kick in where essentially it's almost like a line. You know, you can see that it starts bouncing off of it. The moment it starts breaking its support line, starts breaking down, that's the moment you want to set your stop losses and essentially probably get out of that position. All right. The next support line would probably be down here around the 0.002798 Satoshi mark. Again, that's another support line again, but it broke down. You want to keep looking at support markers until you see that there's enough support, enough buy orders that kick in to say that, okay, maybe this could be a good entry point. You can see that we finally held enough support around the 0.000175 or Satoshi mark. That was its original support line back here. Technical analysis, it's all determined through previous price action. That's how you're able to make good trades, you know, through previous price action. So just based off its previous support line, you can see that this is a really good entry point. There's already a double confirmation that there is. Now that we got that out of the way, support markers are good ways to indicate that there is essentially enough support there for a reversal. The next thing you want to look at is, of course, its volume. That's very important. For me, a few indicators I like to pop up is actually the RSI and the MACD. You guys probably have heard of them. So you type in RSI, Relative Strength Index, as well as the MACD. What you want to look for in the MACD is essentially whether it's oversold or overbought. For me, I like to look at the daily marker. For me, the daily marker is a really good indicator long term. So you can see from a long perspective, you can see the wicks a lot more clearly. The support markers are there as well. But you can see right here from a trend line, it actually broke out from its original bearish run. The moment we see a MACD crossing, so let me actually highlight that so you guys can better see. The moment we see this cross, like the way we saw it cross here, that means that it gives us a good indication that it's essentially going to reverse. As you guys can see right here, it has actually just barely crossed. So even right now, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad entry point. So that's always a really good that's always a good sign to look at for the end of a certain bearish run. The next thing you also want to look at is, of course, its RSI. The RSI essentially accounts for individual candles, determines volume, whether it is overbought, oversold. Oftentimes when it is oversold, you'll see that the RSI is sometimes below 30 marker. Right here, we can see that there was enough support though through this previous trend line. You can even see on the RSI that this is what you would call a double bottom. That means that the volume is starting to kick in for the Wabi. That means that a lot of people were starting to feel a lot more bullish on it. And this indicates that there's enough buy orders that indicates that there could be a reversal. So the RSI is always good to look at as well. You can see right now the RSI is actually curved up, and it's indicating that there could be some more volume kicking in. Of course, the next thing you also want to look at is its pattern. So let's take a look at a closer detail. Let's take a look at the hourly mark. When you look at the hourly mark, there's a few indications that we can look at. We have a teacup pattern. So if I pop up the little ellipse, maybe a little curve right here, you know, we can set our little endpoints. This is essentially the cup right here. And then we also have the little handle, the teacup and handle. This is what you would call the teacup and handle pattern. This usually indicates that there's a bullish momentum. That means that there's enough support kicking in, a lot of buy orders for reversal. Another indicator we could also look at is the head and shoulders, a reverse head and shoulders. So if I pop up the head and shoulders right here, you can see that there was a little bit of a head and shoulders. You can see that it tried to break out of its trend line, but it didn't quite make it. There's still a little resistance. But once we saw the teacup, that means that there was a lot of support kicking in. So that's another indication of a good support line. The last thing you also want to look at, this might be out of the picture from TA, is news. You know, take a look at Wabi. You know, what stuff are they incorporating that's going to help push the project forward? That's going to start kicking in volume and price action. You guys can see right now we are on Wabi's official Twitter page. right here, they often post updates of their certain coin, what's going on. If you guys haven't already, go check out my Twitter, go follow me. My name is Ornelas Edward. You guys can see my Twitter handle on the left, in the middle of the screen right here. But to determine, you know, if there's any news, oftentimes they're going to post a lot of what's been going on, their implications, because regardless of a bullish or bearish market, the team's always going to move forward. They're always going to have something going on. You always want to look at for rebrandings, you know, look at for project releases, for coin releases, for partnerships. That's always going to be huge. Partnerships, developments, to see progress in the project itself. And that's always going to indicate that there is something going forward. Wabi, for me, I'm always very bullish. They're always implementing, always updating, and are always on top of regulation. Not to mention, they are having a lot of volume driven in, because it is part of the Asian Eastern culture. There's a lot of volume that drives in there. It makes up for roughly 75% of the volume. So as you guys can see, they already have pretty good following. That always indicates that that's very bullish. That means that people stand behind it. So definitely that's always a good indication as well. Overall, long term, you're determining that it's broken its original trend line with the head and shoulders pattern, the teacup, and the volume. We can confirm that this is officially a reversal. We can see right here, there's a little bit of resistance start kicking in around the 0.000190 Satoshi mark, but even then the buy orders kicked in, there's enough support, and it is booming right now. So that means that we can expect Wabi start doing pretty good price action in the future. As you can see right now, it's a little overextended, starting to get a little overextended on the R side, but that's, you know, it's just going to correct, and hopefully you can see a little bit of resistance markers around the 0.00199112 Satoshi mark, and from there we can see it probably start booming once again. So hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys are interested in more in technical analysis or perhaps how to trade ICOs, please go check out my course in the description below. It's called Cryptocurrency Mastermind course. We as well also offer a free Facebook group which you guys can then collaborate with like minds. So if you guys are interested in that, please go check it out. Also offer a free PDF, a 5-step program to get you guys started in cryptocurrency. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one.